Okay. I think Section 18 being a 5-arrow means that it will be the last section in today's stream. There's what, 26, 27 in this whole Lostbelt? I don't know if that counted the intermission thing earlier or not, but with this complete, we should be 2/3 of the way through. So I'm going to push through Chapter 18, and we'll do some more tomorrow. Hopefully, I hope to get this done by Friday, but it looks like Friday might be the time we finish it off, as long as they're not super monster long sections. So, we're going to go with Section 18 here. I Am the Thunder That Smites Stars, Part 1. So, Zeus is the enemy in this one. Good to know, good to know. Also, I've been looking at Europa. She seems pretty decent. Europa seems pretty decent as far as servants go. I'm not sure what the NP ranks. Directly beneath the 5th tree of Mountainous, Magellan. Interstellar, Mountainous city of Olympus, was trying to down on the center of its operations. Blah, 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 blah. Doesn't need to tell me exactly where I'm going every single frickin' time! This will be neither sacrifice nor prayer. Always he is the king of God's judgment. He has ruled the heavens since the dawn of time, emerging triumphant in no less than 4 Machia. By day he rules over clear blue skies, by night he conquers what lies beyond them. He is the wielder of the great thunderbolts, capable of shattering stars, galaxies, and even the very universe. None less than the authority of Uranus and Cronus bow to his will. Oh yes, he is the great demiurge, the one who wields the Cronus crown for all eternity. O almighty Zeus, please grace us with your presence. Tell us what should be done with this cowardly, treacherous queen. Europa. I trust you understand why you, my priestess and queen, stand here awaiting sentence like a common criminal. Yes, chapter 21 is when I will humiliate Zeus. Somehow, I'm still not sure how, so that the Kronos slot machine at the casino will bless me with a grand jackpot. Hopefully. I at least promised the slot machine that I would do it, you know? And I try to keep my promises. Lord Zeus. Well, now I simply must ask, what in the world were you thinking, O Queen? Indeed, you are heavenly Zeus's queen and priestess. You are the direct recipient of his love. And yet this is how you repay him? With treason and treachery. It was your guidance that enabled the pitiful dregs of the 4th Machia to vanquish both Demeter and Aphrodite. Ah, how tragic. How shameful. Even worse, it was all for nothing. No matter how hard you struggled, your proper human history home will never return. There is no longer a Europe to call you mother. What a waste. What other foolishness. I suppose this is simply what comes from letting humans act on their feelings. Enough. You know we have no reason to involve ourselves with Olympus's affairs, Limbo. Our only job is to await the foreign god's advent. Your interference has far overstepped its bounds. Oh, believe me, I was very uncertain as to whether or not I should get involved. But when I saw such a deplorable spectacle unfolding before my very eyes, why, I simply couldn't help but take matters into my own hands. Indeed, if offering up my own head would make things right, it would be a small price to pay. Gods from foreign lands. The time of judgment is at hand. There will be silence in my great shrine. Yes, of course, my most humble apologies. In that case, yes, by all means. We disciples of the foreign god humbly await your most just and righteous decision, O mighty Zeus. Please take all the time you need. All the time. Also, Europa is the 3rd strongest AoE rider, with Iskandar at the top, so I don't really need her, even if she is pretty decent. What's gonna happen to Europa? If they're dragging her out into Zeus's altar, it's gotta be because they're about to cut her head off, right? Very possibly. Damn it. I don't get it. Europa still hasn't told them our names. Even though we make pretty good scapegoats. Why not? If she just tells them the scripture has made her do it, I'm sure they'll at least spare her life. Calm down, Kadak. You really should learn to think before you speak one of these days. I know Zeus agreed not to listen in our conversations as part of his contract with Kirstaria. But we don't know for sure if he's keeping his word. Ooh. You're right. I'm sorry. That said, the fact that his thunderbolts haven't already burned us to crisp is a very good sign he is. As for Europa, it's really not hard if you think about it. There's a very simple reason she's not saying anything. It's because she doesn't want you to die here. Or me, for that matter. Besides, I'm pretty sure she hasn't given up yet. Even now, she's chosen to remain materialized instead of ending her own life. She's really strong, isn't she? Well, of course she is. You don't get to be the mother of Europe by being weak. Kadok, I'm gonna go see Woodame. I don't know if it'll make any difference, but I'm gonna try and come in clean. Go for it. In the meantime, I've got something of my own I want to try. You're not gonna kill yourself, are you? Of course not. There's no way I'm dying in a world without David in it. No, I'm just gonna make sure a certain cartoonishly evil monk gets a bit of comeuppance. Hey. Even Kadok approves of that. Nice. Europa. I do not think you have gone mad. I'm certain you've agonized over the choice you made. However, you should have said something to me before setting down your chosen path. If you had done that, we could have avoided needless bloodshed, and the gods who are now dead would still be alive. What a tragedy. I loved you, and you I saw a chance for our Lostbelt and your human history to reach an understanding. But it seems your blood ties to your original world were stronger than I realized. What is done, as I well know, but I ask you all the same. Why? This Lostbelt, this world over which I rule, is the path the world must take for Earth to be restored, for mythology to be restored. This is the path humans are meant to follow, and yet... Why, my queen? Why did you do it? O kind and gentle Zeus, alas, what you feel for humans like myself, my dearest Zeus, is not love. Ooh. You are a great protector of humans. You do a wonderful job guiding us. I can even see genuine compassion in your eyes when you look upon us. It is, however, not the manner in which one looks upon equals. It is the manner in which one looks upon pets. Surely in your great omnipotence, you must already know that. Europa. Indeed I do. The love we give to humanity has been the love one has for pets ever since we awoke as gods. Perhaps things would have been different back then. Back when we were but unthinking ships with only enough intelligence to cross the sea of stars. No, my dear Zeus, I'm afraid you're mistaken. Humanity would never have loved a ship without a heart at all. Almighty Zeus, king of the gods, I'm overjoyed that you decided to take a form that resembles ours. Europa, I have no doubt that the love you feel for me is genuine. However, I cannot overlook the sins you committed by aiding the deaths of two gods. Even my twin children, the Dioscuri, are now gone from my interstellar mountainous city, thanks indirectly to you. Thus it is with a heavy heart that I must pass judgment upon you. Oh, snap. Bye-bye, Europa. Attention, my beloved citizens of Olympus. I, the all-powerful Zeus, bring you news from atop Great Orbital Shrine, Olympia, Dodona. A decision has been made. A decision has been made. Queen Europa, my beloved emissary from proper human history, has regrettably committed a grave sin. Decide. Weep and wail, my beloved citizens. Your lamentations are my tears. Your wails are my anguish. At noon today, upon Olympia Dodona's great altar, there will be a public execution of Queen Europa. Damn, he's going all out against her. My beloved citizens, you will all be shown video of the execution. Watch it closely. Let tears spill down your cheeks. Once the execution is over, you'll be permitted to mourn the loss of our queen for the next 100 years. Ooh, so generous! Only he's giving them 100 years. Wow, that's just so very generous of you, Zeus. Battle node. Okay, this is a berserker at the very least. Berserker, Lancer, Caster. Let's bring Proto in, I think. Can I? I can. Awesome. So Proto with the memest of meme lords. And that. And this. There we go. Switch to the Mystic Code. More of a warning in your opinion. Interesting. Or bait. It could be bait to try and draw us in, you know. To try and save Europa. It's trying to bait us. Foo-foo! Did you hear that, Senpai? They're going to publicly execute. Noon is only 3 hours from now. Wow, that's not long. Easy there, young man. I can't have you running off yet again when we've only just reestablished our connection. Just to make sure you're safe and sound back in the Alliance space. Yes? Good. Now, just hold on a moment. I finished going over the latest reports, and I need a moment to think. Putting aside the fact that your recent run-in with Tomomovich Koyan is condensed into a single line that simply says, encountered and fought Tamomo. Oh yes, I took the liberty of abridging our battle report, as she continues to be a rather sore subject for Gordolf. In the meantime, I would appreciate if you kept the truth about her identity between us, at least until our mission here is concluded. Yeah, we don't have the time to worry about her right now, so... out of sight, out of mind? I say, why are you all hushed up over there? We can hardly afford to be confused right now. I also see that the Grand Summon article Aether is now in your possession. Good, good. It's most unfortunate that this collaborator, Queen Europa, was captured. It's also a great shame you lost a capable ally in Prometheus Hephaestus, and that the enemy now knows about your underground hideout. However, in spite of all that, we are by no means at a disadvantage. Thankfully, Queen Europa's execution does not change our situation, which is the most important thing. Really, now that the Aether is safely in our possession, it seems to me her role as the operation is over. Am I wrong? Well, true, I doubt the collaborator will have a major part to play from here on. While this will, of course, be easier said than done for the final phase of Operation God Destroyer, we need to only activate the Aether in front of Zeus. As such, painful though it may be, there's nothing for us to gain by rescuing Queen Europa from her public execution. If anything, the prudent thing would be to stay far away, as it is very likely a trap designed to lure us in and wipe us all at once. Hear, hear. Even I can see what an obvious trap this is. And besides, the fact is, at this point, whatever happens to her has no effect on us. Yes, no effect at all. You do understand what I'm getting at, don't you? Listen, this is difficult to say, but... we are fighting a war, and in times of war, one must sometimes make unpleasant decisions, even be callous. So as one who has walked the path of cruelty and callousness myself, let me offer you this advice. Now is not the time to liberate. Whatever you decide, I urge you to make your choice quickly. So you think we should make up our minds soon, Emperor Caligula? Indeed I do, Shield Maiden. Right now, our ultimate objective is to cut down the Tree of Emptiness. And to do that, we'll also need to slay Zeus. Of course, we know that what will happen if we're successful. Cutting down the Tree of Emptiness will end this Lostbelt, causing all of Olympus to disappear. And Adele and me will probably end up dying. We've never been able to observe from the inside exactly what happens to a Lostbelt when it disappears from Earth, so I can't say for certain what will happen. But yes, we expect everything will disappear. And the chance of any life forms inside the Lostbelt surviving is vanishingly small. Yes, we understand. The gods once told us that the destruction of the Tree of Emptiness would mean the death of all of Olympus. We knew that, and we still chose to remain in the God Destroyer Alliance. Even if we are going to all die once this succeeds anyways, Queen Europa doesn't deserve to be executed. She should at least have a more dignified death. No, that's not it. That's not really how I feel. That's only pretext, an excuse. Everyone on Olympus gave up on being a father or a mother or any other kind of parental figure long ago. They're all just things to be protected. Mindless reeds who never think about anything besides prostrating themselves before the gods. But something about Lady Europa reminded me of my mother. I see, so she doesn't see humans like you and Miss Adela as mere things to be protected, but rather as children whom she wants to learn and grow as a true parent would. Yeah, that's right. I only know we spent a little bit of time with her last night, but when I saw her giving the 10,000 years we spent in stagnation, and how she and Adele laughed together, grieving, for a moment, it felt like I was looking at our mother again. Your mother? Oh. Yeah, as far as Olympus is concerned, no, that's not it. As far as we're concerned, Queen Europa is the last mother to ever look out for us. She's the last person we ever wished for a future, where we could learn and grow. That's why I want to witness the Tree of Emptiness' destruction and face off our inner moments together. With her. Your final moments, huh? Yes, that's how we feel. Sister, I feel the same way, Macarius. There is dignity in death. As an anti-hero who stole that dignity for far too many people's soul, I too would ask you grant their wish, so that the end of all things past may at least be a peaceful one. Indeed, that is also the wish held by the many lives I stole, lives that were lost thousands of years ago, and whose wish even now resonates firmly within my soul. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I could never make a choice that I knew would result in my death. Hell, I'd even what to think about making one, or to remember that such choices even exist. But that being said, I would never reject another's choice made under such circumstances. Neither would I mock or deride it. I just find it very sad. And I do understand that, if there was only one thing one could ask for in their final moments, it would be to share those moments with someone precious to them. Well, not me, of course. Certainly not me, as a mage my mind easily transcends such mundane human concerns. At any rate, very well. Adele and Macarius, I understand how you feel. So I think, under the circumstances, we'll save Europa. Right, exactly. Besides, you two have done nothing but help us, ever since we arrived. And while I'd like to reward you, at the moment I can't even present you with a single freshly baked croissant. Sir, while this will undoubtedly be risky, if this is the best reward the God Destroyer Alliance could ask for, then we at Chaldea are more than willing to help. Hang on, you already agreed? Why couldn't you have let me finish my little speech first? Sorry, Gordolf, but thank you. Foo-foo! You guys, thank you so much. We know we're being very selfish, but... Selfish my ass, you don't need to thank us. Besides, we know plenty by now and how far you two are willing to go for what you believe in. I barely remember what my own mother looked like, but if I could, I'm sure I would have wanted to protect her too. So yeah, no way we're gonna ignore your request and go our separate ways after everything you've done for us. Excuse me. Exactly. It seems like you've reached an agreement that our next stop is the Great Orbital Shrine Olympia Dodona. Finally, Operation God Destroyer will be taking the fight to the enemy. You guys better not mess up this last part. Now, we want to encourage them, not discourage them. Good luck, everyone. Oh yeah, it's time for the final golden attack. Let's go teach that asshole Zeus a thing or two. But first, Canis. Oh, you finally wrapped up the Sabbath crap. About time. Also, you know your samurai intuition or whatever can be kind of creepy. Canis, you were in your spirit form. Pick up your damn shield. You sense that? There's official guards headed in every damn room in the underground. I knew those Dioscuri bastards must have tipped them off about us. Check it out. They're crawling up our collective asses even as we speak. Canis is right. I'm picking up dozens of clearly hostile magical energy signals near the Alliance base. Foo-foo! Target spotted. There you are, vile Chaldeans. I see the God Destroyer Alliance is here too. Listen up, you scum. Do what we say and we'll grant you the mercy of a painless death. But if you show the slightest sense of resistance, we'll bring the entire force of the Olympus official guard down upon your heads. What is your answer? My answer is die, Olympic scum. Not really, but just die. We're gonna push through. Oh, I just got a decent neck pop. Understood. Activating Orknak's emergency combat mode, engaging auto maintenance functionality, output at 60, 70, stabilized at just over 70%. Aegis protection is still in effect. Commencing battle. Let's get a better pop, though. That was a good pop this way, but not so much this way. But then again, this way is a harder pop to get for some reason. I guess it's because like there's a little bit of a knot there. One wave, but multiple enemies. Fantastic. You know what? Just start blasting. Honestly, just start blasting, Proto. I was worried about this. Proto's okay as far as strength go, but he doesn't... I really need to see if I've got any stronger saber-based Noble Phantasms. Like a proper compare and contrast.
こ
target. There we go. B AQ. Refresh this page. Because it already locked me into a certain thing. There we go. AoE. Okay. Okay, so Salter has a stronger NP at NP1 than Proto does. That's kind of sad, I'm not gonna even lie. That is kind of sad, Proto. That Salter's NP smacks harder than yours. Unless it's against large enemies, it looks like. And I think Reflector might have just crashed on me. Reflector? Buddy? Nope. Reflector died. Reflector, Reflector. Wherefore art thou, Reflector? I seriously need to download the demo for Reflector 4. Okay, so I think I need to start bringing out Salter for these. Because, well, she doesn't have as high of an attack stat. Her NP smacks harder, so... yeah. A little bit smaller. And up, 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 up. That should be good. Just continue the thrashing. And I'm going Proto. I'm going Proto. Base Saba's got the strongest NP, though, for all the AoEs. Followed by Saber Shiki. Then, Attila. And then Salter. Then Mo. Okay. Good info to have. Oh, a Chimera! That's not terrifying. Honestly. That's kind of weak. Proto fights. Oh man, my eyes are really drying out now. If I didn't have such terrible peripheral vision in glasses, I would totally be wearing them right now, but yeah, my peripheral sucks while wearing glasses, so I can't really put them on. Plus, I don't like the way they make my face look. That's why I don't wear them out in public. Anytime I go out, doesn't matter if it's a weekend, if it's only for a short period of time, the glasses go off and the contacts go in. Is it weird? Very, very possibly, but you know, it's just the way I be. Just the way I be. Alright, Proto, this is probably gonna be your last one in a while, man. Probably gonna be the last one in a while. As Salter will be taking the lead against the Lancers. All hostiles have been temporarily disappeared. We've subdued the guards. All hostiles have temporarily disappeared. And these guards are nothing now. I must have gotten even stronger than I was before. We all know there's just as tough as ever, Canis. We just happen to have momentum on our side at the moment. But that won't be the case if we have to face 2 more waves in here. So we better get in while the getting's good. I know, I just felt like saying it. And why the hell do you talk so weirdly sometimes? Cut it out. It gets on my nerves. Oh no, what you got against cowgirls? We ain't nothing if charming all get out. That's a freaking summer reference. We'll have to abandon this base. Come on. We can get to the surface of the southern corridor. Quick, hurry. Nikola Tesla, heroic spirits? Well, this doesn't look good. I'm afraid our circuits were damaged during that last battle. I hate to say it, but it seems this is as far as we go. But please, don't worry about us, my lady. We've already said our goodbyes. At least our heroic spirit selves have. Remember, we're just AIs using their personas. Indeed, and they certainly couldn't be programmed emotions and just on top of everything else. So I may not feel sad at this parting. It was still an honor to have fought by your sides, even if we are only heartless AIs. Not all. The honor was ours. Hope we'll see you all at Chaldea. Bye-bye. Didn't I just tell you we're AIs, not heroic spirits? We're not going to be summoned again like... Wait, of course you already know that. Yes, we agree. It'll be wonderful to see each other again someday. Well, goodbye, Master of Chaldea. Take care. Foo-foo! We are currently directly underneath the central altar town. We should be able to see the great orbital shrine up in the sky once we reach the surface. Our first step will be to escape to the surface, while our second will be to use the aircraft to take flight. From there, we'll make our way directly to the shrine. Will that work, Macarius? Shouldn't be a problem. Hey, Mustache. Are you talking to me? What is it? Do you have an issue with my decision? No, I'm sure he didn't make the call lightly. Now, if you just agree to go along with the spur of the moment because the twin speech moved you or some crap, then I'd be smashing your face in. But now you were actually pretty persuasive back there. Hey, Gordolf Music. You used my name. What is it now? Once we leave the base, we're going to be fighting off enemies left and right. So since we might not get another chance to talk, I'm going to go ahead and say this now. I will kill Zeus. On that, you have my word. And when I do, we'll officially be even. You good with that? Absolutely. That sounds more than acceptable. Good luck, Canis. Also, once you take to the skies, we'll be right behind you in the Storm Border. Oh, so the Storm Border will be joining in the fray as well. Now that it's truly starting to feel like a final showdown is upon us. While I doubt we'll be able to control the skies completely, we can at least throw them into confusion. We can do that much, right, Technical Advisor? Yeah, we can. I personally guarantee it. At long last, it's time for us to take to the skies of Olympus. What do you mean, take to the skies? Captain just about back up to his feet now, too. From here on the Storm Border, we'll be here to back you guys up. First, we need to get rebooted, but once we do that, we'll be more than ready to unveil special flight capabilities, which means the next time we see each other, it'll be up in the big blue yonder. So make sure you survive long enough to take flight, and we'll do our best to survive long enough to reach the Great Orbital Shrine airspace. Sounds like a plan. Over. Another no battle node. Okay. Training simulation? Sorry to interrupt, Caddock, but we've got wyverns. Are you kidding me? I just defeated a servant. I'm running low on fumes here. Oh, I see. Fortunately, I still have a little magical energy to spare myself. Oh, is that so? Must be nice for you being a hotshot elite with magical circuits out your ass. Damn, what the hell's with all those wyverns? I can't believe they're actually blotting out the sky. Not even the troopiest of tropey blockbusters would be resort to played out cliche like this. What are two masters alone supposed to do against numbers like that? You said it, I wouldn't expect the French of all people to go with something more avant-garde? What the hell kind of Stark is that? Just because I'm using movie comparisons doesn't mean you should too. Oh, come on now, you're sulking. I'm the one who feels like sulking. Come on, let's just get out of here. There's no way we can win. First we're gonna find a ley line, then we're gonna summon a servant and start fighting back. Got that, Woodame? I'm sure as hell not giving up without a fight. We can't afford to lose, now with all of humanity counting on us. I already took my tendency to whine in my inferiority complex and tossed them into the CN yesterday, so I'm ready to do this thing one way or another. That's exactly, Caddock. You're a much stronger and more obstinate mage than you give yourself credit for. Weird. Good grief, just so luck that this one would be Rome, where seasoned emperors are alive and well. One of the 5 good emperors are here too. I've always secretly admired Emperor Ophelia. I'm very confused right now. I'm extremely confused. Didn't I warn you to keep that sort of fanboying to a minimum, Woodame? As if what you babbled about in France wasn't bad enough. But he was just in France. I'm just gonna keep reading. Hold on, Ophelia. If we use the Arc de Triomphe as a catalyst, do you think we can summon Napoleon? Okay. I mean... Okay. Weird. I couldn't believe it. Besides, that singularity was in 1431. Singularity. And the Arc de Triomphe was... The Etoile wasn't built until 1836. So it wouldn't even have been there in the first place. I'm not so sure if history becomes muddled in singularities. Why not space-time, too? Please try to take this seriously. Whatever happened to your usual cool-headed self? Alright, listen up. I'll handle direct combat. You'll handle the things like negotiating with the locals, ascertaining the situation, and coming up with plans. Any objections? Not at all. You're much more capable in battle than I am, so I'm happy to let you take care of it. I swear, I didn't even know you were capable of being so accommodating. Do I really have to remind you that we're the last two masters who've been entrusted with restoring humanity? This is the whole reason we were invited Chaldea. We can't afford to make so much as a single mistake. So let's go do what we came here to do, Wotame. It's our duty. Come now, Hinako. You should know better than go out on the deck without taking proper precautions. After all, you're... well, you know what you are, right? Won't you drown the moment you fall into the sea? I think you're the you-know-whats you're talking about that can't handle running water or Western thing. Whatever the case, it has no bearing on me. I do know what I am, and it isn't what you seem to think. I'm just an ordinary mage, a master like any other, and you know that's how I've been presenting myself all this time. If you knew my secret all along, why are you only now bringing it up? I wish I could take credit for figuring it out sooner, but I can't. I honestly had no idea. I knew you were hiding something, of course. But I didn't realize you were a you-know-what until this singularity. It was quite a shock. I never would have guessed you were hiding something this well. I know if it's serious is the right word, but it's certainly fascinating. Fascinating my foot. This is a matter of life and death for me, you know. Also, when did you get to be so insensitive? I could have sworn you were a lot more tactful back at Chaldea. Sorry, you're right. I shouldn't have been so careless with someone else's secrets. I suppose the singularity just feels so open and liberating compared to the others we've seen so far that I end up being a little bit more freewheeling than usual. So we've both been putting on an act then. Now it's my turn to be shocked. I had no idea you were such a good listener. You remind me of someone I once knew a long time ago. He always acted and spoke like a perfect noble, yet he was surprisingly easygoing and soft on the inside. He was too kind for his own good too, so much so that he ended up poisoning himself just to keep the peace around him. If that's what you really like to, are you sure we'll be okay going forward? You do know we're the only ones left who can restore humanity, right? Well, not that it matters much to me either way. I couldn't care less if human history keeps going or not. So if I ever get bored of all this and bail, you'll have to figure out the rest all on your own. London. It's hard to believe there's a singularity in London as well, even though the Mages Association is nowhere to be found. At least it looks like the clock tower underground is still the same. What do you make of this mist barrel? Breaking the order here now. It's definitely not cursed. The toxic fog is based in science. I bet there's a giant boiler or something belching it out somewhere. I mean, we're dealing with the Industrial Revolution now, right? Man, my old lady hated this age with a passion. Said it made her little house in the woods even more unbearable to live in. Okay, how old is Beryl? What about you? Is this misaffecting your magical circuits? Oh, thanks, Kirsch. Didn't know you cared, but don't worry. I'm totally fine. My old lady's the only one who hated consumer culture. Yeah, I'm A-okay with it. Trust me when it comes to selling scores, I'll take a trusty pistol over finicky magecraft any day of the week. Try to agree with you there, but as long as your opponent is vulnerable to firearms. Yeah, that's a good point. It's pretty much all ghosts and automata here. Whatever, I guess I can act like a mage and do some actual magecraft for once. Alright, Kirsch, since most bad guys tend to make their hideouts underground, let's go find the nearest subway station so we can crush them and move on. I gotta say though, between the two of us, I'm not too worried. Sure, I was kind of shocked when I found out the rest of the team had been killed. But as long as you're around, I think we'll be fine. Watch yourself, you hear? I'm not just weak. I'm notoriously fickle too. If we're not careful, I could just as well end up going over to the enemy side. So keep one hand on the reins while you're out there trying to thread this needle, okay? America. Okay, so even they're acknowledging they crossed the entire plains of America on foot. Can't believe we need to cross the entire American continent on foot. That alone has got to make this the most difficult singularity so far. What I wouldn't give for a jet plane right about now. I'll even take a helicopter. Pepe. No, that's enough whining out of you, mister. It's only been 300 kilometers so far, right? We'll be at a city where we can get a hold of a car soon enough. I wonder if they'll have a pickup truck. You must have some very strong legs, Pepperoncino. What was your movement technique called again? Jinsokutsu, or one of the 6 Shugendo Rokenjutsu? You've been using Magecraft to enhance your own legs, but that only goes so far. I'm certainly not going to be running a marathon anytime soon. Come now, Kirstaria, didn't I tell you to call me by my real name? It's Myorenji Aro, remember? I figure it's the least I can do to show you a bit of respect after everything you've been through. Is that one of your powers, too? Right you are. Tashinitsu, the power to read others' minds. Though in my case, I can only tell the color of others' auras. Still, with a color scheme as complex as yours, that's enough to give me a pretty good idea. I swear, gods can be so cruel, and you've done absolutely nothing but help us. Anyway, tell me, when do you think I'll croak? Which singularity? If I know that ahead of time, I won't have to hold anything back. And that might help me be at least a little help to you. I really can't say, but I do know that no one has ever made it past the halfway point. And we're at the 3rd singularity right now, which means we'll be at that point ourselves soon. But in your case, you think I could stick around helping you out to the end? It would certainly be lovely if you were right. But unfortunately, there's one more power I have, Rojinsu. It tells me how long I'm going to live, and my destiny will be. And it's telling me there's no way I'm going to make it to the end. Rojinsu. I see, so that's why you're always so fatalistic. You are unfailingly considerate of everyone else back in Chaldea, but when it came to yourself, you only went through the motions. I always found it strange how someone so kind to others can be so cold to himself. Please don't look at me like that, hun. Trust me, I feel way worse about this than you do. I don't know how many times you've done this before, but you did say that everyone else died partway through, right? So you must have managed to finish the job all on your own. I'm sure that's just what you'll do this time, too. Even if to bite back your tears over my death. That's why I want you to know my real name. For me, this whole journey has been like a dream. When I come back to life, it'll like it never happened. But if you use my real name, that'll be all my true self needs to know that I can trust you. And that you really are the right person to lead us. Yes, I suppose it would. You've always been one of the most observant members of Team A. Nothing with Daybit, oddly. So, Kirstaria experienced the singularities? Multiple times from the sounds of it. Something wrong, Widame. Your mind seems to be closed off. Aren't you the one who asked to see me? You're right, my apologies, Zeus. I was just reminiscing a bit, and I must have been more lost in thought than I realized. I hope you can forgive my rudeness, however unintentional it was. I'm only human after all. It's difficult for me to concentrate with your divine aura this close by. What's so funny? I'm here because I'm concerned about you, you know? I wanted to talk to you about Queen Europa's execution. I don't think you should go through with it. Not only for her sake, but for yours as well. Excuse me. The revelation has been proclaimed. My decision will not be overturned. I understand that it is a fatal choice for me, but it is what must be done to maintain order in Olympus. It is what must be done for your world that named us as gods. I seek not to protect myself, but Olympus. Or rather, the miracle that is this world we only managed to find after years spent wandering. You know, now that you mention it, you never did tell me the story of why you all crossed the Sea of Stars. I suppose I haven't, have I? It's a very long journey. Before the intelligence that created us died out. They sent us on a meaningless expedition without so much as a single life form aboard us. Our very universe was on the brink of death. So our flagship Chaos exhausted 97% of their resources to send us to your universe. When we arrived, we found this universe to be brimming with life. But we were still unable to locate a planet that met the fit landing conditions with which had been programmed. We spent thousands upon thousands of years looking until there was only a scant few of us left. Unable to maintain our convoy, most of our functions ended up wearing away and fusing together. Then, just as we had come to terms with our fate, and accepted that our journey was about to end with our goal unaccomplished, we discovered this planet. It was a miracle, a planet that met 78% of our landing conditions. We quickly made emergency crash landing on this planet's surface, and the rest you know. You humans gave us names, even me. In our fleet, the only ship with a name was our flagship, Chaos, and Chaos never landed on this planet. After their first Machia, it became our fleet's flagship in Chaos's place. Once we were only functions, but then you humans gave us names, believed us to have personalities, and worshipped us as precious beings. We were uncertain of how to respond, the names, the personalities, the worship. None of it was important or even useful for voyaging. And yet, you were delighted, so you decided to accept the faith that people put in you. Yes, we were delighted. I was the first time we had known joy. Joy was a function we neither anticipated nor needed. But we also could not bring ourselves to abandon it. In the end, we all agreed to operate from that point on, not as functions, but as gods. But I was the only one who understood that putting down roots in this planet would mean turning our backs on our original directive. It was not to ensure the people of other celestial bodies flourish, but to revive our home planet. I see, so you decided to conduct yourself as though you were a god, or rather you changed your own programming. And you did so in order to protect the people of Earth, of Olympus, no matter what it may cost. That meant ruling over not just the people of Earth, but the 12 Olympians as well. You encroached on other gods' ships' roles and overstepped your bounds, and did so knowingly. And by integrating all functions within yourself, you became an all-powerful god. Why? It was the only way to resolve an otherwise insurmountable problem. 14,000 years ago, a calamity made its way to this planet. I knew that something like the White Titan Zephyr, a planetary envoy and destroyer of civilizations, existed somewhere in this universe. But I never expected it to make its way to this planet. Zephyr was an invasive weapon, a being capable of destroying entire civilizations, whose threat only grew the greater the more time passed. There was no time to discuss what to do with the other godships. So I took control of the other 12 Olympian functions, became a single godship, and drove off Zephyr. Thanks to that, Olympus was saved. But the other godships all came to hate me. And who can blame them? I stole their functions, knowing it would lead them to ostracize me. While all the other godships had the same integration ability, I was the only one who chose to use it. I was the only one who overstepped my bounds. I was the only ship who went mad. You're wrong there, Zeus. In that moment, as far as the world's people were concerned, you were the only true god. My story is just like yours, Zeus. I was changed in a way I never would have experienced if I'd stayed solely within the bounds of my assigned destiny. All of a sudden, I had motivations I'd never been expected to have, and a goal far beyond my reach. All this excess drastically disrupted what my life was originally supposed to be. But even so, I decided to dedicate the rest of my life to that so-called excess. Ever since, it has been my guiding principle, the most important thing in my life. I understand, Zeus. All you did was decide to leave your past self behind in order to save those who gave you meaning. I'm hearing a lot of commotion on the surface. It seems Chaldea's made their way here to rescue my queen. How's the Tree of Emptiness faring, Woodame? It won't be long until it's ready. Once it is, the only remaining step will be to have one of us use it. If you'd like to use it now, I could always deal with Chaldea myself. No, if they're here to save Europa, then I should be the one to greet them. I will save the Tree of Emptiness for after I have both eliminated Chaldea and defeated you. That certainly sounds ideal to me, but are you sure that's what you want to do? It is. This is the only way I can repay you. I'm going to erase this terminal now. It'll be the last self of mine I ever make for conversing with a human. Thank you, Kirstaria. You gave me something I never had. Something I could never have hoped for once I became all-powerful and began ruling Olympus. I never had a chance to share my burdens with either Hades or Poseidon, but I did with you. Farewell, young mage. Farewell, friend. And farewell to you too, King of the Gods. I hold you in the highest respect. So that was a lot of expounding on... So, Kirstaria lived through the singularities multiple times himself. Not necessarily in the same order, but it does seem like he experienced them with an individual cryptor each time, but none of the cryptors made it past the halfway marker. I'm sure there's still more, and I'm gonna save any more thoughts on that until after we've seen all of Kirstaria's story, because we didn't see anything with him and David. Also, it's confirmed we walked across America on foot. Just saying. We made it to the surface. I don't see any civilians in our vicinity. Checking magical energy signals now. Multiple magical energy signals detected. Hostiles closing in from all directions. I expect we're in for a string of fights, Master. Adele, Macarius, you two take care of the aircraft and we'll break through. We'll make sure the Stymphides is ready to go at any time. We can also start flying as soon as we find an opening. Here they come. I'm surprised to see such great phantasmals sent out to do battle in the middle of a city, but then I suppose the Greek gods would never do anything by half measures. Now we're talking. I love killing big nasties. Come on, those of you who have a death wish. No, I scratch that. Those of you who want to die by my spear, come to me. Oh, nice. I feel silly for ever thinking you might be bored. It's great having you at our side, Canis. You know, now that we're coming up on the final battle, I think I'll get dressed up for the occasion. Ah, Ascension. What's with that outfit? Isn't it gonna get in the way of fighting? You don't want to get ripped in battle, do you? You really think I'd save my best outfit for my victory homecoming? I'm Lady Musashi. Gotta look my best while I'm at my best. Alright, you creaky mechanical gods, get a load of this. You two phantasmals, as a heroic spirit, I might not be the same level as the great hero Heracles when he kicked your asses long ago. But as a soul inscribed in humanity, I'm still as strong as 1,000 soldiers in my own right. So come at me, steel phantasms from the age of gods, and I'll lay you all to rest in no time. Come on, let's do this thing. What was confirmed since Shimosa? Oh, there's 4 different... Ooh. I was gonna bring in Salter for this. I really, really was. Unfortunately, I don't think Salter is gonna be good against half of these types of enemies, so we're instead gonna bring in a Bazaka. Let's go Zhongyu. I am still probably mispronouncing that name. Am I mispronouncing his name, J6? Do you know? Oh, it's confirmed since Shimosa that we walked. Gotcha. I didn't realize it was confirmed in Shimosa. I am mispronouncing it? Okay. I'll have to look up how to pronounce the name later. He is like my go-to AoE berserker, so I should probably pronounce his name properly. Throat hurts. Still. 2 waves. Okay. That's good. They have been throwing a lot of these have just been 2 waves, which is nice. These 2-wave nodes are nice in their own way. Are they really nodes, though? I mean, technically, maybe? Next. Oh, come on, dude. You could have done that. And this isn't that good of a turn. I mean, we got crits out the wazoo, but... Okay, we're fine. Okay, thank you, Wikipedia, but you're not telling me how to pronounce his name. Oh, excuse me. And how to pronounce? That's not working. I'll have to look it up later. But that was not a bad node. That was actually relatively easy for a node. More story afterwards, though. Good, no one's here. But Amae's off meeting with Zeus. And since Chaldea's bound to show up to save Europa, the alter egos are sure to be keeping their eyes on them. Everything's coming together just as I planned. Don't worry about anything else now, Katic. If there's ever going to be a chance to sift through the data, this is it. You won't get another. I doubt they just left their whole plan laying around, but that's okay. I'll settle for anything they don't want me to know, even if it's just the meeting logs. Anything that might provide a clue to the foreign god's true identity. There, the terminal's on. Okay, what am I? Don't mind me. I'm just going to take a little peek at your files here. They're password protected. Figures. Don't have time to try and hack my way in. But let's see if I can guess your password. Crypter. Shit, just my luck. Let's see. 7 characters. Hang on. 7 characters, 7 crypters. What if... KKOASBD? That? No. Okay, maybe use Peperoncino instead of Scandinavia. KKOABD. Seriously? That's hilarious. So, okay. So Kadok, Kirstaria, Ophelia, Akuta, Peperoncino, Beryl, David. That's hilarious. Nope, no time for that kind of crap now. I'm sick of being a bystander and all this. For now, I'll settle for seeing what you see. I'll figure out what I'm going to do afterward. Now, what have we got here? Regularly scheduled report from Ophelia. Based on the date, this would have been when Chaldea had captured me. Weird. Why is this the only file saved by itself? Sorry about this, Ophelia. I'm contacting you in regards to the relationship between the Lostbelt and the Tree of Emptiness. To clarify the terms, I'm defining Lostbelt as an extension of the pruning theoretical phenomenon, an alternative history that could have never existed on Earth as part of human history. And the Trees of Emptiness are anchors holding these lost histories in place. This is witnessed by the fact that the Trees of Emptiness and their respective Lostbelts are so closely tied together. All observational we have with the Lostbelts further substantiates this connection, leaving no room for doubt. As proof, we can look at the Russian Lostbelt, which is disappearing as I speak now that the Tree of Emptiness has been cut down. The timeline definitely lines up. So the Russian Lostbelt disappearing is what definitively proved the connection between the Lostbelts and their Tree of Emptiness, huh? Yeah, that sounds right. However, the Russian Lostbelt's disappearance only proves one particular trait about the Trees of Emptiness. There's still one major mystery remaining about the Lostbelts. How did they fill the gaps in between where they were pruned from human history until they were replanted in the present day? That's a fairly good question. The mystery is what I'm reporting in on today. The other day I heard something from the king of the Scandinavian Lostbelt, Scotty, that points to one possible answer. She clearly remembers the events of the past few thousand years, and does so as though it were perfectly natural. What's more, she did so even while understanding that the Lostbelts, including her own, were cut off from proper human history because of their continued existence was deemed extraneous. And see, I can't just say parallel worlds here. Welcome, Outlaw, by the way. Because in the Fate timeline, there's no such things as these sorts of branching parallel worlds. Because of the pruning theoretical phenomenon. This means she's fully aware that nothing could have happened during the several thousand years between the Ragnarok that took place in the present day. And yet, she and her Lostbelt all exist as though those several thousand years of lost history had actually taken place. Quite the contradiction. Of course, while we can't make any definitive statements based on one king's single passing remark, I do feel confident enough to propose a hypothesis. Lots of lore drop here, including the stuff with Kirstaria, but I'm going to unwrap that once I get all of it, because I feel like there's still more for Kirstaria to come. I suspect the blank period between when the Lostbelt was pruned and when it was replanted in the present day may have actually taken place inside the Tree of Emptiness. In Russia, that period would have been about 500 years. In Scandinavia, it would have been about 3,000. In China, about 2,200, and so on and so forth. To further expound on my hypothesis, I suspect that the Tree of Emptiness takes the point at which the Lostbelt's history is pruned, and then stimulates what would happen if that history had continued from that point. Okay. By doing so, the tree effectively proves that history's existence, and the result is projected onto the planet itself. Okay, so it's somewhat a reverse of ray shifting, then. It's kind of like a bit of a reverse ray shifting, because when we ray shifted, we weren't ourselves going back in time. We were projecting ourselves to the past, which is singularity, which is a whole lot of other weirdness. But so that would explain why the Lostbelts disappear when the Tree of Emptiness is gone. The Tree of Emptiness is essentially the coffin for the Lostbelts. They are the Chaldea that is proving the existence of these Lostbelts inside of them. Yeah, the tree is the anchor. It is the coffin that is proving the existence of what went on inside. Much like the coffins were proving our existence inside of them. The simulating the timeline thing, so the tree touches down. They touch down in our modern day. So the tree touches down. It finds a point of divergence. It finds one of those severed timelines, picks it up, and starts to grow it inside of itself. It starts to nurture it to essentially prove its existence. By proving its existence, it can then project, aka ray shift, the Lostbelt onto its surroundings. That kind of makes sense. It has the base there. It's proving the existence of the base. By continuing to prove the existence of the base can continue to flourish, thus allowing it to catch up to modern times. And with the base contained inside the Tree of Emptiness, the Tree of Emptiness can project the base on the outside, essentially somewhat like ray shifting. And when the Tree of Emptiness, aka the thing that is proving the existence of that thing, is no longer existing, then it stops to exist. Much like when we are pulled out of the coffins when ray shifting, we no longer exist in the ray shifted timeline. I can make some sense of that. My hypothesis is correct. That would mean the trees are essentially creating history, not rewriting it. Not even a demiurge class divine spirit that once controlled the entire planet could wield this kind of authority on the Earth in the present day. Creating history, not rewriting it. Iffy. What am I? I mean, Lord Kirshtaria, what am I? Just what is the foreign god, anyway? Foreign god, huh? Guess you didn't know, Ophelia. Me neither. No, it's not just you and me. None of us scripters know what the foreign god looks like. All we know is there's something that resurrected us from our coffins in exchange for making us raise Lostbelts. Except, Wodame is the only one of us who heard directly what the foreign god's goal is. What's this text file over here by itself? Looks like some kind of note. Gotta say, Wodame, between this and the easily guessable password, you're getting sloppy. Hang on, is this really a plain text file? What is this? We're not gonna find out, are we? On the Trees of Emptiness and the Bleached Earth phenomena. Okay, I guess we will find out. With the exception of us cryptors and the alter egos, the Trees of Emptiness are the only method the foreign god has employed to tamper with Earth. We therefore interpret this phenomenon as signifying that it was the Tree of Emptiness that wiped Earth clean as they descended to the ground. However, after reviewing and reanalyzing the data taken from Earth's surface, I'm no longer so sure. To come straight to the point, we may have been mistaken. The Trees of Emptiness only appeared after Earth had been bleached. This order of events is crucial. I don't know which of the cryptors will end up viewing this file, but whoever it is, I hope they find it useful. It was intended! You're telling me the Trees of Emptiness only came down on Earth after it had been wiped clean. But that doesn't make any sense. I thought for sure that was the Tree of Emptiness that wiped out the Earth and humanity. But if the Earth had already been bleached before the Trees of Emptiness showed up, then why make them, or the Lostbelts at all? Wait, if the foreign god wanted to get rid of humanity, why they wouldn't bother making Lostbelts in the first place? If anything, it seems like there's a whole reason they want to see a bunch of different possible human histories is because they don't know anything about us. Welcome, Ratchet Tash. Wait, Ratchet Ash. Welcome, Ratchet Out. Welcome to the stream. Just unraveling the mysteries of the Lostbelts right now. And what mysteries they are indeed. But then why? Ratchet Ash? Yeah, it took me a moment there, but I got it in the end. But welcome to my stream, I do hope you enjoy as I do Section 18, and thank you kindly for the follow just now. It is most appreciated. But, gotta ask, favorite waifu / servant in Fate? That's the main question here. That's the main question. Maybe the bleaching wasn't to wipe out humanity, but to make an environment they could set foot in. Maybe they only got rid of humanity because they had no other choice. Maybe a world covered in pure white, brand new textures, the only kind of world the foreign god can visit. But then if that were the case, the Lostbelts would only get in the way, so what are they in the Tree of Emptinesses for? Ishtar? Okay. Not bad taste, you know. Personally, between the two, I definitely prefer Ereshkigal over Ishtar, but Ishtar has a lot better points than I expected her to have. Before we got Ishtar, there was all the useless goddess memes, so I was expecting, you know, something terrible. But Ishtar, you know, she definitely worked her way up to very solid, good character stats. You know, I would say waifu, but considering Ereshkigal is in the waifu list, that makes Ishtar sister material, so what can I say? Bleaching to equal terraforming. That does raise the question of what the Trees of Emptiness are even for, then. Damn, I'm not just going around in circles. There's still some crucial piece I'm missing. Oh, just my luck. There's too many files on this terminal to find the data I need. And why are these folders scattered all over the place? Is this some kind of anti-hacking measure or something? Shit, I was hoping I wouldn't have to touch big files, but at this rate I'll have to copy everything. The foreign god. There's no question that they're an aggressor, and they can't coexist with our history. As for the whole god thing, it's way more likely they're a new kind of life form we know nothing about. And god is just the best word we have for it. It's not used that often, but I do have a Discord. I think /Discord should still work for that, but yes, I do have one. Just, I'm not as active on it as I should be. That is something I do intend to change. I've got a lot of stuff I need to improve on. Lots and lots of stuff to improve on. Since she's coming out shortly. Oh? Ishtar's coming out shortly. What do you mean by that? If you don't mind me asking. So when I make the Lostbelts, why use this at all? It's because they so much about Earth. Nah, that can't be it. We're talking about a being capable of wiping out the whole planet clean in a second. Come on, Katic, think. There's no way the foreign god doesn't know the first thing about Earth or humanity. They must have done their homework, or they wouldn't have known to attack us, Chaldea, before making any other moves. So from that, you can tell that the foreign god is really, really cautious, which is why, they're so careful about keeping their identity a secret. Zeus is omnipotent and omniscient, so he doesn't bother to hide who he is. He's also had no problem crushing any form of dissent himself. Ah, the April 20 million downloads. Tongue tangle. Isn't the 20 million also when we get the free SSR ticket? It's somewhere around there, right? The foreign god's not at that level yet, which is why they're so careful about any information pertaining to them. That's it. The foreign god's got one major fatal flaw. They don't have a physical body yet. If they did, even if it was just a divided spirit or a terminal, they wouldn't have to rely on anyone else. That's why they enlist the alter egos and us scripters to be their hands in this world. Rasputin, Limbo, Muramasa. Why would a foreign being use heroic spirits from Earth? They might have dressed up their alter ego disciples up a little, but they're still figures taken from our history. Hang on, what if the foreign god can only make use of things on Earth? No, it's not even that. They can only use things from the past, things that used to be on Earth. At some point, the foreign god plans on descending to Earth. At least that's what they told Woodame. And once the Tree of Emptiness is fully grown, it'll become the foreign god's body. So what happens after that? So, if the Tree of Emptiness becomes the foreign god's body, then the possible reason for, the possible reason to stimulate the Lostbelts would be, theoretically speaking, if the whole tree becomes the body, that means that everything inside the tree is the body. That means that the foreign god would have the conceptual power of an entire timeline behind them. That'd be terrifying, honestly. Musashi, Ishtar, Gil, Shisho, Bryn, Castor Da Vinci, Zerker Toki, and Jalter. Those are the servants on that banner? Nice. Very, very nice. I know with the free SSR ticket, I'm probably going to be going for a base Tama. Maybe when the foreign god descends and incarnates on Earth. Yeah. Sure, there should be... I think there's a role part of the Discord. I can't really recall. I know that there's different channels, but I'm pretty sure there's one for FGO stuff. Or mobile game. There's a mobile gaming channel. That's right. They're about to base the body on the data about Earth we've been collecting for them. Yeah, that's not a bad theory. If the foreign god absolutely has to have local life forms, then they must be for the output. No, wait, for reference. And from there, as long as the foreign god can guide the local life forms successfully... My, how perceptive. I see. It would seem that given enough time, humans will indeed cease to be mindless reeds and start reaching conclusions of their own. Oh, no. I used to laugh at the idea of a few cryptors putting their heads together could ever arrive at the truth. But now that I see how close you come to figuring out the foreign god's true nature, it's clear I underestimated you, Lord Caddock. Crap, an alter ego. Oh, shit. Bye, Caddock. It was nice getting some plot development from you. You were an excellent plot exposition device, Caddock. I salute you in your sacrifice. Indeed it is I, Limbo. Bye, Caddock. That simply won't do, Lord Caddock. No, it simply won't do at all. If you're going to go snooping around like a spy, you really must be more prepared for the possible consequences. Don't you agree? Wait, oh, I see. I suppose you were prepared after all. Well, I do beg your pardon. I didn't realize that flimsy little shield around your body was meant to provide meaningful protection. Bastard. Oh, yes, I'm terribly sorry. It seems I've gone and punctured your little spell. And this wound being quite fatal, I'm afraid this is as far as you go. Much as I hope to see you again one day, that seems rather unlikely now. Alas. You alter ego. So tell me, have you shared this pet theory of yours with any of the other cryptors? For example, should I assume Krishari Woodame has reached the same conclusion you have? No, he hasn't. He'd never permit himself to do such a thing. He's very smart after all, so he knows he'll be disposed of if he should arrive at the truth. That's why he kept his thoughts strictly as raw data rather than mulling them over and drawing conclusions. No wonder the foreign god chose him for their executor. Oh my, I do apologize. I completely forgot about the pain curse I still had embedded in my nails. Ooh. Pain curse. That's not pleasant. No wonder you can't answer my questions then. How careless of me. Well then, pitiful cryptor without a Lostbelt. It would seem this is goodbye. Bye, Caddock. You know, Caddock gave me enough exposition dump. I will not... Well, you know, I guess I can't really sweep Anastasia off her feet right in front of him anymore, since, you know, he's dead, but I guess I can shelve that plan if he ever somehow becomes a spirit. I will not seduce Anastasia anymore to get back at Caddock for being an insecure little shrimp. I don't know, I couldn't really think of better words there. Okay, let's bring Salter in. There is a phrase for what I was implying, but I'm pretty sure saying that phrase is bannable offense, so yeah, I'm not going to say the phrase. I'm sure that you can imply what I'm meaning. Also, mememin. Memelin. Oh god, Reflector. Reflector is taking a bit of a piss right now. Hang on, I gotta restart Reflector here real quick. So let me stop the mirroring and give it just a minute here. Gotta love Reflector. I really need to see if my computer can handle Reflector 4. Sure, it says Windows 10 or whatever, but I'm sure that my old Windows 7 will be completely and totally fine running reflector 4. I'm sure it'll be fine, you know? No, reflector is what I use. Although, I haven't heard... Is BlueStacks an emulation device, or... I feel like BlueStacks is an emulation, isn't it? Because I don't use emulation. I use screen sharing. Because I have a TV for my computer screen, and I like seeing things in high quality, so I literally just, you know, use a screen share thing to just, you know, it's nice. It is admittedly nice. It has its downfalls, but, you know, they're admittedly few. Alright. But, yeah, we're gonna go into this. I think this is the last part of this section, I want to say. Oh, wow, this is... Is it big enough? Yeah, it's good. Okay, we're good size. So we're gonna bring in Salter this time. Yeah, I know a lot of people use BlueStacks. Oh, they're really worth it. Honestly, I feel like the twins are, fairly worth it. I haven't leveled them up yet, mind you. But, I mean... It kind of depends, because we do have a confirmed meta definer coming out here in the next couple of months, a la Castoria. Castoria is dropping in a couple of months here, so she will be a meta definer, you know. So if you want to be on the meta train, chugga chugga chew, Castoria is the way to go. I keep forgetting, is our anniversary in June or July? Like, I always ask this when it comes to this time of year. Like, this time of year comes along, it's always like, okay, anniversary's coming up. What month is it in again? Is it June or July? July 4th? Okay. That's... Okay, I can see now where the schoolgirl uniform Mashu came from. I just had to go to the upcoming events for, JP to see that, apparently it's Spring's New Master Aid campaign that gives us school uniform Mashu. School uniform Mashu's nice. She looks really nice. Mashu is the prime waifu for me, by the way, Ratchet. Just so you know. Mashu is #1. She's the top of the stack in the waifus. Melt is designated #2, with Aresh at #3, Jalter at #4, and XA at #5. Those are the top 5. They are all, like, the tier 1s in the proper, like, waifu symbology. There are others, though, that are in, like, the lower tiers that could work their way up with a little bit of luck and everything, but, yeah. Am I weird for ranking them all? Maybe. Maybe. But I'm fine with being weird. After all, what is normal anyways? Alright, Salter, blast him. Shiki and then Jean Jalter is #2. They share the same placement? Outlaw! Ooh! Black Grail is actually very, very good. Black Grail is a solid pool, man. Like, I didn't use it before. Like, everybody started saying, like, for certain challenge quests, oh, you should really use Black Grail, it makes them so much easier, and then I use it, it's like, holy cow! Black Grail makes such a difference. And it really does. Black Grail makes a stupendous difference. I mean... technical terms. Okay, that is that section done. Oh, section 19's only 2 arrows. No. It's already starting to close in on midnight, and I do have work in the morning, so I've been going almost 4 hours. I do think that this might have to be where, yeah, this is going to have to be where I call tonight's stream. But we're up to section 19, and there's only like 26 or 27. Yeah, it's getting close, technically speaking. Like, very, very technically speaking. It's 10:37 p.m. right now for me. Yes, but I have work in the morning. Okay, I work in a doctor's office. I can't really sleep on the job, you know. That tends to not really be that tends to be frowned upon, let's just say. But I mean, it's 26 or 27 sections. I did 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 5 sections today. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. It'd be, unless they're short sections, I might not finish it tomorrow, but I might. 11:30 to 8? I mean, that's not terrible hours. I meanwhile I work the standard 9 to 5, although I have to be there by 8:30 because I help open up the office. In fact, I'm the one employee trusted with the keys to the office, so yeah, I kind of need to be there on time, and I tend to wake up at like 7:30 in the morning, and I'm trying to work on getting more sleep for myself, so yeah. All in all, just speaking, I am going to call the stream here. Tomorrow will be an earlier in the morning stream, or earlier in the day stream, since Wednesdays are my half days. Next is an interesting fight and exposition. Okay. But, I mean, either tomorrow or Thursday, I think, is gonna be when Olympus gets finished. And I so look forward to finally beating Olympus and getting some answers here. What exactly is going on with Kirstaria? What are the Lostbelts? What is the foreign god? Will Canis join us at Chaldea and become BFFs with Musashi? Where they become a bunch of battle maniacs together or something? Who knows? Only time will tell, and that will happen in the future. For now, I have been Soulrack Dragon. I hope that you've enjoyed the stream. If you have, leave me some feedback in whichever way you so see fit. If you want to check out more by me, be sure to check out my channel here on Twitch or YouTube. Same name, same games. They all go up eventually, with the Fate Grand Order quests, Fate Grand Order main story sections being posted by chapter. So if you want to take your time and experience the story chapter by chapter over time, that's how you can do it in a nice and easy way. Thank you again to everybody who's followed me today. Only one today, Ratchet Ash. Thank you for the follow, and since I didn't say it yesterday, thank you, Leon28 Level, for the follow yesterday. But I'm going to call it here, so thank you all so much for coming out. I hope you enjoyed tonight, and I hope to see you all tomorrow. Have a fantastic evening, everybody.